ABE-LA Ordering a Kit and Supplies. In this video, we will review kit reservations, ordering forms, and kit return procedures necessary to obtain ABE equipment and reagents. This video is for trained ABE teachers who are planning to implement the ABE labs in their classrooms. There are 5 main steps to follow, so let's dive in. Step 1. Review the ABE kit schedule for your distribution center and complete the supply reservation form, Form A. Step 2. Complete your ABE supply order form, Form B, and submit a signed copy of the ABE expectations and policy form, Form C. Form C will be available through Form B, so Form B is really a 2-in-1 form. Make sure that you fully read the ABE expectations and policy form so nothing comes as a surprise. Step 3. Schedule a kit pickup and return time. Distribution centers use Sign Up Genius or general email to book kit pickups and kit drop-offs. More information on this later. Step 4. Have your students complete the data release form and pre-lab survey. For LAUSD students, they need Form E1, which is a data release form signed by parents, and Form E2, which is a pre-lab student survey. All other students just have to fill out a pre-lab student survey titled Form E4. Step 5. Submit the teacher post-lab results survey after completing the labs with your students. That would be Form D. And have your students complete the student post-lab surveys. Again, for LAUSD, this would be Form E3, and all other students will fill out Form E5 before returning your kit and supplies. And this would conclude your checkout process. The ABE-LA reservation and ordering process typically opens in May for the following academic year. You will be notified by email when the scheduling process opens to begin the process of reserving your ABE-LA kit. Reservations are first come, first serve.
To begin the process of reserving an ABE kit, first, go to the ABE-LA website at amgenbiotechexperience.net/Los Angeles.
Once you arrive at the ABE-LA website homepage, navigate to the Distribution Center drop-down menu and select your distribution center. Here you will find information about your distribution center, including a photo of your site coordinator, their contact information, and the distribution center address. If you keep scrolling, you will find a list of all of the forms that you need to correctly place an order. We also have written instructions for ordering located in the link right above the list of forms. Feel free to check that out if you prefer written instructions. Distribution centers are designated at your training workshop and are based by the distribution center's proximity to your school. Distribution center transfers need to be approved by ABE-LA staff. If you ever have a question about what distribution center to use, make sure you email us at abela@lapromisefund.org.
The first step to borrowing an ABE kit or receiving ABE supplies is to review your site's ABE kit/supply schedule and record open dates during which you would like to participate in the Amgen Biotech experience.
To do this, navigate to the list of forms on your distribution center webpage and click on your distribution center's kit supply schedule.
This will bring you to a view-only Google form that has the kits that can be borrowed at your distribution center listed across the top row, and the time slot number and dates during which those kits can be borrowed listed under the first and second columns of the kit schedule. Time slots during which kits can be borrowed are 3 weeks long, and each school can only borrow 1 full kit within a calendar year. On your distribution center's kit/supply schedule, the first date listed for each time slot is the day you would pick up your kit from your distribution center, and the second date is when you would need to return your kit to your ABE distribution center. The schedule for kit pickups and drop-offs varies between distribution centers. The days on which kits are picked up and dropped off are listed at the bottom of the kit schedule. For example, at this distribution center, kits are picked up on Wednesdays and dropped off on Tuesdays. The number and type of kits and extra equipment available at each distribution center also varies. For example, this distribution center has 4 complete ABE kits containing all the equipment needed to run the complete, abridged, or focus on bacteria series. These 4 kits are labeled Kit 1P, Kit 2G, Kit 3B, and Kit 4S. Despite their different names, all 4 of these kits contain the same equipment. This site also offers Lab 1 kits, listed here as hexagel kits, which are specifically for teachers who only perform Lab 1, the Introduction to Biotechnology Lab sequence. Note that teachers who require a full kit, a Lab 1 kit, or partial equipment must follow the set kit pickup and drop-off schedule specified on your distribution center's kit/supply schedule. Teachers who only require materials, such as reagents and other consumable supplies, may be able to request ABE reagents and consumable items outside of the distribution center schedule, but should still consult their distribution center site coordinator to confirm. Materials-only teachers can also request reagents more than once within a calendar year, depending on their distribution center. Looking at the kit and supply schedule for your distribution center, you should record your top 3 preferred time slots during which you would like to participate in the ABE program. As time slots are requested, they will become unavailable, so make sure to only request time slots where one of the kits you need has yet to be reserved. Suppose I am an ABE teacher interested in borrowing an ABE kit during the spring semester. To find a potential time slot during which I could borrow a full kit, I would scroll down the kit schedule to the date range in which I am planning to complete the ABE labs with my students. I would then check to see when a full kit is available. Kits that have already been reserved and are unavailable will have a school name listed beneath them. For example, in time slot number 8, which has the date range of February 16th to March 8th, I can see that all 4 full kits offered at this distribution center are already reserved by a school. However, I can see that for slot 9, there is an opening to borrow a full kit, as well as during slot 10 and time slot 11.
Once you've figured out what 3 dates you'd like to book an ABE-LA kit or supplies for, navigate back to your distribution center webpage and locate Form A. Form A is the kit or supply reservation form. This is what you'll fill out next.
The purpose of the kit/supply reservation request form is to 1. Reserve a time slot for borrowing one of the ABE-LA kits, or 2. Request a time to only obtain supplies if you are a teacher who already has your own equipment. This means that regardless of whether you are borrowing a full ABE kit or only receiving supplies, you must complete the kit/supply reservation request form. Note that kit reservations occur on a first-come, first-served basis. The sooner you request your preferred time slot, the more likely you are to receive your first choice. Remember that full kits and Lab 1 kits can only be borrowed by each school once within a calendar year. As such, only one teacher from schools borrowing a kit should complete the kit/supply request form. All the ABE teachers at your school will need to complete the labs during the same time slot by sharing a single full ABE kit. Teachers at schools that only require materials should each complete a kit/supply request form separately, as each teacher can complete the labs during different time slots throughout the year. If you are a materials-only teacher planning to complete the labs during 2 different time slots, please complete the form once for each time frame during which you would like to receive supplies. The kit/supply reservation request form takes approximately 5 minutes to complete. The form will first ask you to provide an email address at which you can be contacted regarding your kit reservation request. Next, you'll have to enter your school name, your last name, your first name, and then you will be asked what equipment you need. I'm going to be requesting a full ABE kit. Partial equipment is an option for teachers who may only require 1 or 2 equipment items that they do not have, such as perhaps an extra set of pipettes or a column chromatography set for Lab 6. Next, you indicate which labs you will be completing with your students. In my case, I'm going to have 2 of my classes complete the Abridged series, while my honors class is going to complete the Complete series with protein purification and colony PCR. Finally, you have to list the first date of your top 3 time slot choices for participating in the ABE program. Referencing the kit schedule, I'm going to list March 9th, March 30th, and April 27th as my top 3 choices.
Step 2. Complete Form B, the supply order form, and sign your ABE Teacher Expectations and Policies form, Form C. Once again, Form C will be available through Form B, so Form B really gets both jobs done. To do this, once again, navigate to your distribution center webpage and locate Form B, the kit supply order. Click on Form B, and that will bring you to the form you need to fill out.
The supply order form takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes to complete. It is important that you fill it out thoroughly and carefully, as this information is used to calculate the amount of reagents you need to perform the ABE labs with all of your students. Before completing your supply order form, please consider the following. 1. All teachers, even if sharing an ABE kit, must complete a separate supply order form at least 4 weeks before their scheduled time slot. Teachers who do not submit a supply order form in time may have their scheduled time slot canceled. 2. When asked for student or group numbers, enter your responses as an Arabic numeral and do not include any letters, spaces, or other symbols. If you enter anything other than an Arabic numeral for questions asking for numeric values, the formulas we use to calculate the amounts of supplies and reagents you need to complete the ABE labs will not work, and we will not be able to successfully complete your order. 3. Do not pad the numbers. Extra supplies and reagents are already included in the formulas used to calculate the amounts of consumable items you will receive. First, the form is going to ask you to enter some personal information, including your email address, your phone number, and the date that you're scheduled to participate in the ABE Lab series. Next, the form asks for your first name, last name, email address, and your school's name. The form then asks whether you are a new teacher to the ABE program or whether your school is new to the ABE program. You then indicate what materials you need to perform the ABE labs. In my case, my school doesn't have any of the equipment I need to perform the labs, hence I'm requesting a full kit. Next, you want to indicate the total number of students in all of the classes that you will be doing the ABE labs in. In my case, let's say I have 3 classes, one with 10 students, one with 25 students, and one with 15. I'd add those numbers together, meaning that I would have a total of 50 students. Next, you indicate the total number of classes in which you will be doing the ABE labs. For example, 2 classes of Honors Bio and 1 class of AP Bio equals 3 classes. In my case, I'm going to be teaching 2 Introduction to Biology classes and 1 Honors Biology class for a total of 3 classes. Next, you have to enter the total number of courses in which you will do the ABE labs. For example, 2 classes of Honors Bio and 1 class of AP Bio equals 2 courses. In my case, because I am teaching 2 classes of Introduction to Biology and 1 Honors class, that constitutes 2 courses. 1 that is an Introduction to Biology course and 1 that is an Honors Bio course. Next, you have to supply information about each of the courses you will be teaching. The first course I am teaching, Introduction to Biology, will be completing the abridged lab sequence without lab 6. And they will not be performing colony PCR. In the second course, which is an Advanced Honors Biology course, they will be completing the complete genetic engineering sequence with lab 6, and they will also be completing colony PCR. Now, because I am only teaching 2 courses, I am done with this section and can move on to the next section. However, if you have more courses that you will be teaching, make sure you complete these questions for every single course. The next section of the equipment/supply order form is really important because the values you enter here are what will be used to calculate the amount of reagents and consumable items you will need to complete the ABE lab series with your students. From this point forward, the supply order form is divided by the different lab sequences that can be completed with your students. You only need to complete the sections for the labs in which you plan to participate in. For example, this first section here is specific to the complete genetic engineering sequence. If you did not plan on participating in the complete genetic engineering sequence, you would skip this section to either the abridged sequence section, the focus on bacteria section, or the lab 1 focus on biotechnology lab section, and just complete the lab sections that you plan on conducting with your students. If you are going to be completing the complete genetic engineering sequence with any of your students, you will need to complete this section. First, you're asked to enter the total number of students doing the complete sequence. So, for example, if you are doing the complete series in your AP Bio class of 36 students and your biotechnology class of 12 students, you would enter 48. In my case, I'm doing the complete sequence with only my Honors Biology class, which has 15 students. So that's what I enter. Next, you need to enter the total number of groups doing the complete sequence. For example, if in your AP Bio class you wanted 6 groups of 6, and in your biotechnology class you wanted 6 groups of 2, you would enter 12. In my case, I'm going to be doing the complete sequence with only my 1 class of 15 students, and I want to have 3 students per group, meaning I'm going to have a total of 5 groups. Next, you have to indicate the date on which you plan to perform the transformation lab. Usually, teachers return to their distribution center to pick up competent cells right before they perform lab 5 to ensure that the competent cells are fresh and are more likely to produce successful results. In my case, I'm registered to participate in the ABE program starting on March 9th, and I'm going to perform the transformation lab 1 week later with my students, so on the 16th. Next, if you are doing the protein purification lab with your students, you have to indicate the number of groups that would be participating in this lab. In my case, I'm having all my students who are completing the complete sequence also complete the protein purification lab, meaning I will have 5 groups total. Next, you have to enter the total number of groups that will be doing colony PCR, and again, in my case, that's 5 groups. The next section pertains specifically to teachers who are going to be completing the abridged genetic engineering sequence with their students. The questions asked in this section are exactly the same as they were for the complete genetic engineering sequence. So again, I have to enter the total number of students that I'm going to be doing the abridged sequence with. In my case, I have a class of 10 and a class of 25 for a total of 35 students. In my first class that has 10 students, I'm going to have them work in groups of 2, meaning I'm going to have a total of 5 groups for that class. And then for my other class that has 25 students, I'm going to have them work in groups of 3 for a total of about 9 groups in that class. So 5 groups plus 9 groups gives me a total of 14 groups that will be completing the abridged sequence. Next, I want to indicate the date of transformation for my classes that are completing the abridged series. In my case, that date is going to be the same as with my complete series students, so I'm going to indicate the 16th. Next, you want to indicate the total number of groups doing protein purification following the abridged sequence. In my case, I'm not doing this lab with my students, so I'm just going to leave that answer empty. And I'm also not going to be doing colony PCR with my abridged sequence students, so I'm going to leave that answer empty too. Next is the focus on bacteria sequence. I'm not having any of my students do the focus on bacteria sequence, so I'm going to just go ahead and skip this entire section. The next section is for Intro to Biotech Lab 1 only. Because I'm completing the complete and abridged sequences, automatically Lab 1 is included in those sequences. I do not plan to conduct just Lab 1 with any of my classes, hence I do not need to fill out information for that first section. However, I would like to do some of the extension labs that are offered for Lab 1, such as dog drool and kitten paternity. I'm only going to do this with my honors biology class, which has 15 students working in groups of 3 for a total of 5 groups. I'm also going to do the kitten paternity extension lab, again with those 5 groups. Finally, I need to specify how I want to complete Lab 6, the protein purification lab, with my honor students. At a minimum, all distribution centers offer 2 options. The first option is to request supernatant, which is ready for column chromatography. This is recommended for new teachers as it makes it easier and quicker to complete Lab 6. In this case, your site coordinator will culture and lyse the transformed cells for you, and the tubes will be ready for Lab 6 protein purification Part B. In other words, you're skipping Part A of Lab 6. The other option is to grow a culture yourself so that you complete both Parts A and B of Lab 6. You would culture transform cells at your school using a shaking incubator, aliquot, lyse the cells, centrifuge them, and then do the chromatography. The first question asks for the total number of groups needing supernatant, while the second one asks for the total number of groups needing to grow a culture. In my case, I'm going to have my students complete both Parts A and B of Lab 6, meaning that I'm not going to select supernatant, I'm going to select to grow my own culture. Because I'm only performing Lab 6 with my honors biology course, which includes 15 students working in groups of 3, I'm going to indicate that I only need enough supplies for 5 groups. Finally, in this section, you can indicate any additional items you might need to successfully perform the ABE labs with your students. If you chose the partial equipment option, you must indicate here what additional equipment you require to complete the ABE lab series. Note again that the equipment available at each distribution center varies. In my case, everything I need will be in the full kit, but I do want to remind them that I want a dog drool and kitten paternity kit. Next, you need to indicate whether you will need gel red or gel green as your DNA stain for Lab 4 of the abridged or complete genetic engineering sequence. This distribution center notes that if you are borrowing a full ABE kit from them or are borrowing a UV transilluminator from them, you will need gel red. Gel red is used specifically for UV transilluminators, while gel green is used for blue light transilluminators. Because I am borrowing a full kit from this distribution center, I'm going to select gel red. Now, if you are a teacher doing the Intro to Biotechnology or Focus on Bacteria series, You will not be doing labs 4 or 4A or colony PCR, hence you would select the not applicable option. Finally, you have completed the entire order form and you can press submit. After submitting your order form, you'll receive an email containing a copy of your order form. You should review it to ensure that the dates, number of students, number of groups, and labs in which you plan to participate are correctly listed on the form. In my case, I wanted to participate in the abridged sequence with 35 students in a total of 14 groups, which is correctly listed here. I also wanted to participate in the complete sequence with 15 students and 5 student groups, correctly listed here. And I also indicated that I wanted to complete colony PCR and protein purification with the same students that are doing the complete sequence, so 5 groups listed for each of those. And I'm planning on growing my own culture, so that is also correctly listed here. Finally, under additional equipment needs, it lists that I am requesting a dog drill kit and a kitten paternity kit, and the number of groups participating in both of those labs are also listed on the form. So it looks like my order form is correct, and I'm ready to go.
Step 3. Schedule a time to pick up your ABE kit and/or supplies.
For schools that have multiple teachers sharing a kit, only one teacher needs to arrange picking up the kit and supplies for all the teachers at their school. While some distribution centers schedule pickup times via email, others use a scheduling platform called Sign Up Genius. To schedule a pickup time using Sign Up Genius, follow the link emailed to you by your site coordinator to access the Sign Up Genius page. When there, carefully read the pickup details, which specify the date, location, and procedures for picking up your kit and supplies from your distribution center. At the bottom of the Sign Up Genius page are listed the times at which you can pick up your kit and/or supplies from your distribution center. Time slots are typically an hour long. Select the time slot that works best for your schedule. Once you submit your Sign Up Genius form, you will receive an email confirmation from Sign Up Genius and your site coordinator indicating that your kit and/or supply pickup time has been confirmed. During your kit pickup, you and your site coordinator will go through an equipment checklist to 1. Verify that you're receiving all the equipment needed to perform the ABE labs, and 2. To review how equipment is stored and used. If you have any questions about the ABE labs, this is a great time to ask.
Once you have picked up your ABE kit, but before starting the labs, you are ready for Step 4. In Step 4, you'll ask your students to submit the correct pre-lab student surveys, or Form Es. For LAUSD students, this includes a data release survey that parents must fill out, titled Form E1, and a student pre-lab survey titled Form E2. For all other students, they have to fill out Form E4, which is just a student pre-lab survey. To find Form Es depends on your distribution center. You'll notice that Form Es are distributed differently per distribution center. For example, the CSU Channel Islands Distribution Center does not host any LAUSD students. Therefore, the LAUSD designation is not here. The student pre-lab survey is the same as Form E4, and the student post-lab survey is the same as Form E5. This is different for distribution centers that do serve LAUSD students. For distribution centers that do serve LAUSD students, you first must locate the Student Surveys button, and then here you can find information regarding the student surveys. This is a handy FAQ if you have any questions regarding use of data. And if you keep scrolling, you'll see the surveys designated by LAUSD or all other students. This is where you'll notice Form E1, Form E2, Form E3. This is just a handy QR code slide for teacher use. The general student surveys, meaning surveys for students that are not LAUSD students, are labeled Form E4 and Form E5 and are the same as the student pre-lab survey and student post-lab survey, in the other distribution center pages. This section also contains a QR code slide for ease of use. Again, before performing the labs, please have your students fill out the Form 2 Student Pre-Lab Survey. The data release form has to be filled out by parents, and this is only for LAUSD students. All other students, before starting the labs, please fill out Form E4, the Student Pre-Lab Survey. During the labs, please be sure to contact your coordinator if you have any problems with equipment or results as soon as possible. Make sure to utilize the resources that we have created for you. You can find our resources on our website at amgenbioexperience.net/Los Angeles. There you can find kit notebook, pacing guides, troubleshooting, extension labs, the T3, which is a detailed troubleshooting document, equipment recommendations, the YouTube channel, website, and other video links for career information and more. You can also go to the program website at amgenbiotechexperience.com, where you can find teacher developed materials, extension labs, professional learning events, and more. After you complete the labs with your students, please ask them to submit the remaining E5 forms, the Student Post-Lab Surveys, and make sure that you submit the Teacher Post-Lab Survey, Form D, which is a lab results survey. Again, this is different for LAUSD students and all other students. LAUSD students should submit Form E3 as their post-lab survey, and all other students can submit Form E5 as the post-lab survey. Again, this will be different on your webpage depending on the distribution center that you are a member of. Thank you for taking the time to review the ordering policies via this video. If you have any pending questions, feel free to contact us at abe@lapromisefund.org. But please note that your best point of contact for any distribution center specific questions or even lab specific questions will be your site coordinator. Feel free to contact your site coordinator via the information listed on the distribution center webpage. For more general questions, you can use the ABE email. Thank you.